In recent months, the war between Russia and Ukraine has transcended traditional front lines. Tanks and missiles, while still central, are now matched by a new weapon, data. On October 26, 2025, between 7 p.m. and 11:45 p.m. Kyiv time, Ukraine executed one of the most sophisticated cyber operations in modern history, crippling a $1.1 billion Chinese technology network that had been quietly supporting Russia's war effort. This was not a random act of sabotage. It was the culmination of months of intelligence gathering and covert infiltration, a silent war fought in the shadows of the global internet. Ukraine's cyber forces struck deep into a system designed by China to provide Russia with advanced surveillance, communication, and battlefield AI logistics. These systems had been enabling Russia to coordinate drone swarms, monitor troop movements, and sustain communication lines that conventional strikes could not reach. When the systems went dark, so too did key Russian command lines in eastern Ukraine. The event unfolded in phases. According to Ukrainian defense sources, the offensive began with a silent infiltration of a Chinese-built communication backbone that linked Russian command posts in occupied Donetsk with satellite feeds transmitted through Beijing's high-bandwidth nodes in Xinjiang. Using a multi-vector intrusion, Ukrainian cyber teams exploited a loophole buried deep in the firmware of satellite relay terminals. Within minutes, automated defense protocols triggered alarms in Beijing's Cybersecurity Directorate, but it was already too late. China's support infrastructure, valued at over $1.1 billion in hardware and digital architecture, began to fail systematically. Databases went offline, secure communications channels flickered out. High-resolution satellite imaging streams, once used by Russian artillery units, began returning static. Even China's advanced AI-driven cyber defense systems could not identify the source of the breach. The precision was surgical. At 9:17 p.m., the first visible effect was detected by Russian field units near the front lines of Luhansk. Their encrypted communication grids, supplied by the state-linked Zhongxing Communications Group, suddenly failed. Field commanders reported a total communication blackout, forcing troops to resort to outdated analog radios. The degradation cascaded rapidly, cutting off nearly 40% of Russian military units from real-time command updates. For Ukraine, the timing was deliberate. The attack coincided with intensified fighting near Mariupol. In the hours following the cyber strike, Ukrainian drones, now unhindered by Russian radar interference, executed precision strikes against logistical convoys and artillery positions. The impact was immediate. Russian supply lines collapsed, and several field depots caught fire. In Beijing, the mood was tense. China's National Computer Network Emergency Response Technical Team was flooded with alerts. Inside China's National Cybersecurity Coordination Center, engineers worked through the night as error reports streamed in from dozens of satellite-linked data hubs. At 11 p.m. Beijing time, China's State Council held an emergency meeting. Early reports painted a grim picture. 3 major data relay systems, 6 low-orbit satellite uplinks, and multiple encrypted communication channels tied to Russian military logistics had been rendered inoperable. Publicly, the Chinese government labeled the incident a temporary satellite synchronization issue. Internally, however, reports revealed that several communication relays had suffered catastrophic firmware corruption, a signature of Ukraine's advanced cyber warfare toolkit. Analysts later estimated that nearly 60% of the compromised systems would need physical replacement, not just software repair. For years, China's partnership with Russia had been built on plausible deniability. Officially, Beijing claimed neutrality, providing dual-use technologies under civilian classifications. In reality, these systems, advanced satellite relays, AI-enhanced communication filters, and encrypted drone navigation protocols, were designed to enhance Russia's battlefield command. Chinese authorities were left scrambling to explain how their civilian communications projects, linked to firms like Zhongxing Communications Group and Tianyi Aerospace Technologies, were embedded within Russian military operations. The exposure carried not only financial costs, but significant diplomatic risks, as Western intelligence seized on the incident as evidence of Beijing's covert military alignment with Moscow. Meanwhile, in Moscow, the impact was devastating. For hours, Russian command units in the Donbas and Zaporizhia regions operated without stable communications. Satellite links that guided precision artillery went dark. A Ukrainian military official later described the situation succinctly: "It was as if we'd turned off their eyes." The Kremlin issued no immediate statement, likely to avoid admitting the scale of its dependency on Chinese systems. Internally, panic spread. The Federal Security Service, FSB, initiated an emergency investigation, but it soon became clear the breach originated not within Russian systems, but within the Chinese-built grid. For President Vladimir Putin, this was a political humiliation. The partnership of equals was suddenly revealed as a brittle dependency that had failed spectacularly. The attack on October 26th revealed a larger truth. The future of warfare had fully entered the realm of cyber dominance. The traditional image of soldiers and tanks was now joined by lines of code capable of disabling billion-dollar defense systems. Crucially, global intelligence observers noted that Ukraine's attack did not target civilian systems or Chinese domestic networks. The strike was confined strictly to military supporting technologies, directly aiding Russia's invasion. This restraint, combined with the precision of execution, earned Ukraine rare praise even from cybersecurity experts in neutral countries, who described the operation as one of the cleanest and most disciplined cyber strikes ever recorded. NATO issued a formal briefing acknowledging the strike as a legitimate defensive operation targeting military infrastructure, indirectly supporting Russia's invasion. The statement emphasized Ukraine's adherence to cyber warfare norms, shielding Kyiv from accusations of escalation, while underscoring its technical sophistication. In Western capitals, the reaction was one of admiration. The United States and the United Kingdom convened cyber defense councils to analyze the strike's methodology. Behind the scenes, NATO officials acknowledged that Ukraine's cyber warfare capabilities now ranked among the top 5 globally. This new reality forced Moscow into a desperate position. Russian generals, cut off from their digital networks, attempted to rebuild communication lines using outdated Soviet-era systems. These analog systems, however, lacked encryption and left Russian field units vulnerable. Ukrainian signals intelligence, SIGINT units, quickly exploited this weakness, intercepting and decoding frontline communications that revealed troop movements and resupply plans. The result was a cascade of battlefield losses. Several Russian ammunition dumps were destroyed in precision strikes, guided by intercepted communications. Within days, Western intelligence estimated that Russia had suffered over $600 million in equipment losses directly linked to the communication breakdown. Analysts concluded that the collapse of China's network had reduced Russia's operational effectiveness by as much as 45% in key sectors. In the aftermath, the world's geopolitical order began to shift. For China, the implications were grave. The breach shattered not only its defense-linked technology, but also its credibility as a global tech superpower. Countries that had previously sought Chinese satellite systems, including several in Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America, began to reconsider their partnerships. Beijing's leadership moved swiftly to contain the damage. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs summoned ambassadors, asserting the outage was caused by an external cyber-terrorist event unrelated to Ukraine. But few believed the explanation. Leaked memos revealed China's intelligence agencies had confirmed Ukraine's involvement within hours. Domestically, the event triggered intense tension. Chinese state-linked firms faced scrutiny from the Central Military Commission. Engineers were ordered to Project Reforge, a rapid overhaul of digital defense architecture, but rebuilding the systems would take months and cost billions. Economically, China's technology sector entered a period of turbulence. International investors began pulling out of defense-linked industries, fearing new sanctions. The Shanghai Technology Index fell sharply, erasing nearly $70 billion in market value. The reputational blow was immense. For Ukraine, the psychological advantage was immeasurable. At a press conference days later, Mikhailo Fedorov, Ukraine's Minister of Digital Transformation, stated, "This is not just a victory for Ukraine. It is proof that digital defense is the weapon of the future. When we protect our sovereignty, we do it not only with soldiers and armor, but with intellect and innovation. Those words echoed across Europe. Nations began to reassess their cybersecurity doctrines. Countries like Poland, Estonia, and Finland announced new cyber cooperation programs with Ukraine, seeking to integrate its battle-tested expertise. The event became a turning point in global deterrence theory. The traditional idea that power was measured by nuclear arsenals or tank fleets no longer held the same weight. At the United Nations, diplomats began debating new frameworks for responsible cyber engagement, citing Ukraine's example as a potential model. As one European defense analyst put it, Ukraine didn't just destroy a network, it destroyed an illusion, the illusion that big powers are untouchable in the digital age. The night of October 26th was more than a tactical victory. It was a symbolic milestone, a declaration that digital resistance could be as potent as physical firepower. The collapse of China's $1.1 billion tech support wasn't just a loss, it was a lesson. A lesson that in modern warfare, the greatest power lies not in the weapons you hold, but in the systems you can defend or dismantle. And on that night, Ukraine proved that even the mightiest systems can crumble before the precision of human ingenuity.